is intimidating. But it can be mastered. The balance beam. It's known as the psych event, and that's because it's the event that requires the most concentration. It either makes or breaks you. One fall, one mistake, and it's over.
It's almost like when you fall in competitions, you're off the beam before you even realize what happened, you know, and then all of a sudden you're looking around thinking, oh.
There's no room for error. I mean, you know, one little drop of the shoulder, you're off.
For me, it's the most unnerving event, and it takes the most concentration for me.
Repetition is most important on the balance beam, for as the old adage says, practice makes perfect, or at least a 9.9. Skills are first learned on a line. Then the gymnast moves onto the beam, which is surrounded by mats for safety. The beam is gradually raised until the gymnast is comfortable to perform the skill for real. This technique is known as progression.
When you start a progression of gymnastic skills, you're going to take one element and build on it. You start and then you add to it, whether it's in difficulty or adding a twist to it or whatever it might be.
We're looking all the while for consistency of the skill, whether or not the skill is dangerous. I mean, if you miss or if you have trouble with it, is it a dangerous miss or it is just maybe a miss where you lose your balance?
Confidence and concentration, the keys to mastering the balance beam, an apparatus that is only 4 inches wide.
You can be as crooked as I don't know what on a trick, but if you say in your mind, I mean, everything happens so quickly, but if you can say in your mind, I've made this 1,000 times and I can pull this back on the beam, then you're going to make it and you're going to hit.
You can't work balance beam hoping that you stay on. You have to know it, feel it, and go after it.
And while the beam awaits its next victim, here is the effect it's had on the standings as Renee List's 8.4 keeps Penn State from catching Georgia. Keep in mind, Utah is down a rotation. And Greg Marsden's team is up next to try to best the beam.
Sally Brown on the uneven bars.
No matter how well you plan, no matter how hard you try, there's always the possibility that something can go wrong. That's why nobody should be without the protection of a big, strong insurance company. MetLife. Get Met. It pays.
Place Alabama leads the march prior to rotation 5. The Tide really gained ground on the vault in that last rotation and are a very fine bar team, which is their next event. And while Utah prepares for the beam, keep in mind they are setting a record pace in NCAA championship scoring. Tiny Montana Marsden hopes his mom and dad's team can move into first, while Georgia, on its bye, can only look ahead to the final rotation. The Bulldogs are in the lead with Penn State and Alabama a close second and third. And in this 5th rotation, Bama is on the bars, Utah on the dangerous beam, and Penn State's on the floor. This is Missy Wells of Utah taking on the balance beam.
Mary, a near disaster there on her mount. Missy Wells has so much pressure on her right now because the first 2 competitors scored a 9.6 and a 9.75, and she must hit this routine to keep the momentum going. She has her most difficult tumbling combination coming up. Two back handsprings to a back layout. Bad fall, that could hurt the team.
And while Wells climbs back on, let's quickly join in progress sophomore April Polito of Penn State on the floor.
Watch April play to the crowd with this music. her final tumbling run. Not a real difficult one. A laid out, full twist, right into a straddle jump.
Coach Judy Abner's Penn State team has really had themselves a fine day today. April Polito's floor routine gets a 9.675, while Missy Wells' 8.675 has given the Utes reason for concern. Let's go to Dee Dee Foster from Alabama on bars.
Dee Dee is a great all-around gymnast. Watch this release move from bar to bar, from the low bar right up to the high bar. She has one more key release move here coming up. She releases back over the bar. Very well done. Now she's going to set up for her dismount. A double tuck flyaway. Beautiful form and a great landing.
Really one of the great performers of the day, Dee Dee Foster. Her score a 9-9. Meantime, Utah's coach Greg Marsden is looking a little bit worried. Earlier we saw Missy Wells score an 8.65. Just a short while ago, Jenny Donaldson got a low 9.275 when she fell off the beam. So next up is Missy Marlowe, and you know she's feeling some of the pressure. Her husband Mike and dad Tim are sensing the tension too, because remember, 6 performers compete, 5 scores count. There's already been 3 falls from Utah. They need a strong performance from Marlowe, or a once big lead could evaporate right here.
And here's where we see what Missy Marlowe is made of. This is one of the most difficult positions to be in as a gymnast. You either dread it or you embrace it.
That music is not related to this performance, but it sure sounds appropriate.
Missy has one of her most difficult skills coming up here. Look at that. That's where her experience wins out. She pulled that right over the top. Here's a gainer layout. Beautiful. Right now, Missy's pretty much home free. She's going to be thinking right now about her dismount, a very difficult double back dismount. The landing here is crucial. Great height and almost a perfect landing. Her only little bit of trouble came on this first tumbling combination. Notice how her hips are slightly out of alignment, but she pulled it back over. She continues with a beautiful gainer layout, perfect position, right into an unbelievable flexibility move. Don't try that at home. And watch this. It can't be done much better. Beautiful height and beautiful landing.
So Missy Marlowe comes through again, scoring a 9-9. And Utah looks to be in great position in the race for the team title. The Utes have moved in front of Georgia and have a rotation in hand on the leaders.
That's when you do the best, and that's when you're going to score the best. Is when you show a lot of expression.
They are going to be so impressive.
And you have a good time.
Back with the final rotation after this.
You got this. Good job.
You know, you get into fitness, you're likely to get an athlete's foot, and it could get pretty tough.
Welcome back to St. Paul. The Crimson Tide of Alabama is done for the night, holding a most precarious lead, while Georgia's Suzanne Yocklin is hoping for a miracle. Top-seeded Utah looks unfazed as it heads to the floor, looking for the team title. The Utes are an easy striking distance of the championship, trailing Alabama by less than 47 points. On this final rotation, Georgia is on the vault with the Utes on the floor. Alabama's got a bye. Here's Hope Spivey of Georgia on vault. She was last year's co-champion in this event.
Usually a very strong vaulter. Handspring front with a half twist. Good landing.
Spivey scores a 9-9, and Georgia finishes, taking a slight lead, but all Utah's Kristen Knoyer needs on the floor is a 9.325 to clinch the team title. And who better than Knoyer to do it? Her lowest score this season on the floor exercise is a 9.70.
That's right, Mary. Kristen is the exact type of gymnast you want in this position. Very confident, very consistent. She shows a lot of personality, good form and execution. Not quite the difficulty of some of the gymnasts, but she meets all the requirements. Here's a little different second tumbling run. A laid out front with a full twist. All she has left now is her final tumbling run. She must be feeling pretty good right now. She's going to end with an Arabian front 1 1/4 right into a push-up position. Right there. Great job.
What a terrific effort from Knoyer, Julianne. Is that good enough to win it?
No doubt about it, Mary. And obviously her teammates agree. Look how excited they are. And here's one reason why. Her final tumbling run, she receives extra bonus points for this. An Arabian 1 1/4 flips right to her stomach.
This is what it's like to win a national championship. Knoyer's score of 9.8. They have clinched it. And Missy Marlowe still to go. Marlowe needs a 9.775 to win the individual all-around title over Heather Stepp of Georgia, and a 9.4 for Marlowe would also give her team an all-time NCAA championship scoring record.
This is just icing on the cake for Missy. She starts out with a really difficult full twisting double back. She's really improved her strength, and she's always been a gymnast that the judges love because of her perfect execution and her graceful style.
What better music for the All-American girl than Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA.
Second tumbling run, pike double back. Little low on the landing. Now she can just have fun because all she has left is her final tumbling pass. She's going to do a combination here. A whip through to that Arabian 1 1/4 to her stomach. Look at that smile.
What a magical way to cap a college career, and we'll have the final results right after this.
I don't need.
We're back, and Missy Marlowe's 9.95 gives her the individual title as she celebrates with her husband, Mike. And for Georgia, well, maybe next year. The Utes set an all-time NCAA team scoring record. They beat second-place Georgia by over 1 point. Alabama is third, and Penn State a strong fourth. Let's go to Julianne.
Great day for the Marsden family. Greg, tell us about it.
Well, it was a great meet. You know, this is a group that's really fought through a lot of things, losing 2 of our top all-arounders coming into the meet, and having the young kids step up and fill in and do a great job in a very difficult and pressure-packed situation. You know, it was a great performance on the part of the kids, and I've got the, best coaching staff in the world. It was just a dream night.
Were you